Welcome back. Today we're diving deep into the world of small yet powerful coins. The United Kingdom 5 pence pieces. At first glance, these coins may look ordinary, but some rare dates, minting errors, and conditions can make them worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's market. We'll explore the top 8 most valuable UK 5 pence coins, understand why they're so rare, and see just how much they can sell for at auction. So, if you've got some 5 pence coins lying around, you'll definitely want to check this out. You might be holding a hidden treasure. So let's get started. First up, we'll be talking about one of the most interesting and overlooked coins from the United Kingdom, the 1992 5 pence coin. While at first glance it may look like just another small change in your pocket, when found in certain conditions, such as a circulated black or rusty appearance, it becomes a rare collector's piece. These coins are no longer common in everyday circulation, and some of them are now being valued at surprisingly high amounts in the auction market. Let's dive into the history, unique features, rarity, and market demand of this fascinating coin. The 5 pence coin was originally introduced in 1968 as part of the decimalization process, but the version we're focusing on today, the 1992 issue, holds a special place in UK coinage history. In 1990, the Royal Mint reduced the size of the 5 pence coin, replacing the larger pre-1990 version. The 1992 coin was among the first full circulation years of the smaller-sized coin, minted in copper nickel and bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Maklauf. This design era marked a transition in UK coinage, where smaller, more practical coins replaced the heavier earlier versions. The 1992 5 pence coin features Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, wearing the royal diadem. On the reverse, the coin shows the crowned thistle, the national emblem of Scotland, symbolizing unity within the United Kingdom. Its small size, silver color, and distinct thistle crown design made it instantly recognizable. When found in a circulated black rusty condition today, these coins stand out even more. The toning, corrosion, or patina developed over decades of circulation gives each coin a unique appearance. While most people may dismiss such coins as damaged or worthless, collectors sometimes value the distinct aged character, especially when tied to historical years. Now, why does the 1992 5 pence attract collectors? The answer lies in both its transitional importance and the fact that well-preserved examples are getting harder to find. While millions were minted, most have been lost to circulation, withdrawn, or melted down. In circulated black or rusty conditions, many would think of them as damaged coins, but in the collecting world, rare patinas and historical condition appeal to niche buyers. Collectors who specialize in circulated coinage, error coins, or coins with unique toning often seek them out to complete their sets. The demand isn't as high as gold or proof coins, but in certain cases, auctions have shown surprising interest, particularly from international buyers. So, what about its value? A normal 1992 5 pence in average circulated condition might only be worth a few cents above face value. However, when it comes to black or rusty examples with unique toning, some collectors have paid much higher prices. Depending on condition, uniqueness of coloration, and buyer interest, these coins can sell between $25,000 in the auction market. Exceptional examples, with rare errors or distinct patterns on the coin surface, have even reached higher figures when multiple collectors bid competitively. For a coin many people might overlook as pocket change, the 1992 5 pence can actually be worth far more than expected. If you happen to come across a 1992 5 pence coin, don't toss it aside. First, check the condition carefully. Even circulated black or rusty coins might attract buyers. Store the coin properly to prevent further damage, preferably in a protective holder. Research online auction platforms to see what similar examples are selling for, as market prices fluctuate. Collectors should also consider putting together a full set of post-1990 small 5 pence coins, as complete collections tend to fetch stronger values. And remember, uniqueness is key. Unusual patinas, slight minting errors, or coins in above-average condition always draw more attention from serious buyers. The 1992 United Kingdom 5 pence coin may seem ordinary at first, but in circulated black rusty condition, it transforms into a collectible with both historical charm and surprising auction value. Its place in the timeline of UK decimal coinage, coupled with its iconic crowned thistle design, makes it a fascinating piece to study and collect. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of British coinage, focusing on the United Kingdom 5p coin from 1990 in circulated condition. While many people overlook smaller denominations, this particular coin holds a special place in numismatic history. Collectors around the world are starting to recognize its rarity, and as a result, it's gaining impressive value in the auction market. Stay tuned as we explore its background, unique features, rarity, and how much it's really worth in dollars today. The 5p coin was first introduced in 1968, before decimalization officially took place in 1971. Originally, it was a larger coin, comparable in size to the old shilling, and circulated until the late 1980s. By 1990, the Royal Mint made a significant change. The 5p coin was reduced in size to make it more practical for everyday use. The year 1990 marks the very first issue of this smaller-sized 5p coin, making it a historic transition in British currency. This change not only modernized the coinage system, but also created a collectible piece that represented the shift in British money at the time. The 1990 5p coin is distinctive for a few reasons. On the obverse, you'll find the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf, which was used on UK coins between 1985 and 1997. On the reverse, the coin features the crowned thistle design, a long-standing symbol of Scotland, created by Christopher Ironside. What makes the 1990 edition especially unique is that it was the very first year of the smaller size, giving it a symbolic role in the history of UK coinage. Its nickel brass composition also gives it a durable shine, even in circulated condition. Although millions of 5p coins were minted in 1990, their importance as the very first of the reduced-size coins means collectors treat them differently from regular issues. Many were heavily circulated, so finding one in excellent condition can be quite a challenge. Circulated examples are common in the UK, but internationally, collectors are prepared to pay more to obtain one. The rarity factor increases significantly when considering coins in higher grades. Uncirculated or proof strikes from 1990 fetch a notable premium, while even circulated coins are climbing in demand because of their historical significance. In terms of market value, circulated 1995 coins typically sell for around $15,000 depending on wear and condition, which is already a big jump from their face value. However, collectors searching for coins with less wear or near-mint condition examples have pushed prices higher, sometimes reaching $20,000 at auction. Proof and uncirculated versions of the 1995 can command even more, with some selling upwards of $25,000 or more when graded by professional services. The value continues to grow as collectors realize the significance of this first year of issue coin. If you're interested in collecting the 1995 coin, here are some useful tips. First, pay close attention to condition. Even a lightly circulated example with minimal scratches and strong details will always attract higher bids. Secondly, consider storing the coin in a protective holder to prevent further wear, especially if you find one with sharp features. Thirdly, if you come across proof sets from 1990, make sure to check for the 5p inside, as those can be quite valuable. And finally, stay updated with auction sites and coin forums, because prices for this coin are gradually rising as demand continues to build. The United Kingdom 5p coin of 1990 may seem like just another small denomination, but it carries remarkable historical importance as the very first year of the reduced-size 5p. With its beautiful design, symbolic heritage, and growing collector demand, it's a coin worth holding onto. Whether in circulated condition or in pristine proof, the 1995 continues to surprise collectors with its increasing auction value in dollars. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of British coinage, focusing on the United Kingdom 5p coin from 1991. While at first glance it may look like just another small coin in your change, this particular piece carries history, rarity, and collector's appeal, especially when preserved in fine condition. We'll explore its background, unique features, market value in dollars, and why collectors seek it so highly. The 5p coin was originally introduced in 1968 as part of the UK's shift toward decimalization, replacing the older shilling. However, by 1990, the Royal Mint decided to downsize the coin, making it lighter and easier to carry. This change was significant because the 1991 5 pence became the second year of issue for the new smaller-sized coin, minted in cupronickel with a diameter of just 18 millimeters. This coin continued the Royal Mint's tradition of combining practicality with heritage, marking an important stage in Britain's evolving currency system. The 1991 5 pence coin is distinctive in design. On the obverse, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maclauff. This effigy, used between 1985 and 1997, is one of the most recognizable versions of the Queen, featuring her wearing the George IV state diadem. On the reverse, the coin proudly displays the heraldic badge of Scotland, a crowned thistle symbolizing strength, tradition, and unity within the UK. The smaller size of the coin and its well-balanced design make it stand out in the decimal series. Although millions of 5 pence coins were struck in 1991, not all of them survived in collectible quality. Everyday circulation caused heavy wear, and finding one in fine condition or better is increasingly rare today. For collectors, condition is everything. Coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and a clean surface are the ones that fetch higher values. The 1991 issue is particularly sought after because it represents the early years of the smaller-sized 5 pence, making it a cornerstone for anyone building a complete UK decimal set. The rarity increases significantly if the coin has been preserved in uncirculated or proof condition. So, how much is the 1991 5 pence worth today in general circulation? Its face value is just 5 pence. But in fine condition, collectors are willing to pay anywhere from $15,900. If you manage to find one in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, the value jumps higher, with some examples selling for $25,500 at online auctions. Special proof issues, often released in coin sets, can command even higher prices, especially when accompanied by original packaging or certificates of authenticity. While this might not make you instantly rich, the coin's steady rise in collector demand makes it a hidden gem in small change. If you're interested in collecting the 1991 5 pence, here are a few tips. First, always look for coins with sharp details, minimal scratches, and good eye appeal. Fine condition is a solid starting point, but if possible, aim for extremely fine or uncirculated examples, as these hold the best long-term value. Secondly, consider buying from reputable dealers or auction sites that guarantee authenticity. And finally, store your coins properly in protective holders to prevent further wear and tarnishing. With time, the rarity and value of early small-sized 5 pence coins are only expected to grow. The United Kingdom 5 pence coin of 1991 is more than just small change. It's a piece of numismatic history. From its downsizing in the early 1990s to its symbolic Scottish design, this coin captures a unique moment in Britain's monetary story. In fine condition, it already holds collector value, and with growing interest in decimal-era coins, its importance will only increase. It might just surprise you with its true worth. Next up, we are diving deep into the story of one of the fascinating small denomination coins of the United Kingdom, the 5 pence coin from 1995. Now, you might be thinking, what makes a 1995 5 pence so special, especially if it's in damaged condition? Surprisingly, even coins with wear and damage can hold hidden value in the collector's market, depending on their history, rarity, and demand. We'll uncover everything about the 1995 5 pence coin from its background to its unique features, rarity, and current market value in dollars. Stick around until the end, because I'll also share some useful tips for collectors who are hunting for these coins. The United Kingdom 5 pence coin has an interesting history. Originally introduced in 1968 as part of the decimalization process, the 5 pence replaced the old shilling and carried the same value. However, in 1990, the size of the 5 pence was reduced to make it smaller and lighter, aligning it better with the modern pocket change. The 1995 issue came out just 5 years after this transition. These coins were struck in copper nickel and bore the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Raphael Maclauff, which was the third definitive portrait used on British coinage from 1985 to 1997. The 1995 5 pence coin stands out for a few key reasons. On the obverse, it carries the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II facing right, crowned with the royal diadem. Around the portrait, the Latin inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1995, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse, the coin features the crowned Scottish thistle, a symbol of strength and endurance, accompanied by the denomination 5 pence. Even in damaged condition, these design elements can often be recognized, making the coin identifiable and still collectible. Now, here's where things get interesting. While the 1995 5 pence had a significant mintage, not every coin survived in perfect condition. Coins that have circulated heavily often end up damaged, scratched, or worn down. Normally, damaged coins lose value, but some collectors specifically seek out unusual examples with minting errors or unique flaws. A 1995 5 pence with striking errors such as off-center designs, planchet cracks, or misstrikes can be incredibly desirable, even in damaged form. Moreover, since this coin represents a mid-1990s issue with the Maklauf portrait, it appeals to collectors who specialize in building date runs or portrait sets, increasing its desirability. So, what's the current auction market saying about this coin? A standard 1995 5 pence in circulated condition might only fetch a small premium, often just a few dollars. However, when a coin is damaged but shows rare minting flaws or has unusual characteristics, its value can climb much higher. Collectors have been known to pay between $24,599 for certain rare damaged 1995 5 pence coins, depending on the severity of the error and the uniqueness of the damage. At specialist auctions, if the damage is identified as a genuine mint error rather than post-circulation damage, the value can even exceed these figures. If you're a collector looking to add a 1995 5 pence to your collection, here are a few tips. First, always examine coins carefully for unusual features. Don't dismiss a coin just because it looks worn or damaged. Some of the most valuable pieces come from minting mistakes that happened decades ago. Second, store damaged or error coins in protective holders to prevent further deterioration. Third, when buying or selling, use trusted auction houses or well-known online platforms to ensure authenticity and fair pricing. And finally, research is key. Understanding the difference between natural wear and genuine mint errors can save you from costly mistakes. The United Kingdom 5 pence coin from 1995 may seem like just another small coin in damaged condition, but with the right eye, collectors can uncover its hidden rarity and value. From its historical background to its unique design and the potential for minting errors, this coin has much more to offer than meets the eye. While most damaged coins worth a fortune, special examples can command significant prices in the auction market today, sometimes reaching into the thousands of dollars. It might just be a rare treasure waiting to be discovered. Next up, we explore the most fascinating and valuable coins from the United Kingdom. We'll be taking a deep dive into the United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970 coin. At first glance, this coin may appear to be just another small denomination, but in reality, it carries remarkable history, interesting design features, and in certain conditions, can fetch an impressive price in the auction market. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone curious about the value of the coins you might come across, this video will cover everything you need to know about this rare piece. The 5 new pence coin was first introduced in 1968 as part of the United Kingdom's transition from the old pre-decimal currency system to the decimal system, which officially came into effect in 1971. The 1970 issue of the 5 new pence is especially interesting because it marked the final year before full decimalization. During this time, the coin was struck primarily for collectors in proof sets, rather than for circulation. That is why the 1975 new pence holds a special place in British coinage history. It represents the end of one era and the beginning of a modern decimalized system. The 1975 new pence coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin, which was widely used on UK coins from 1968 until 1984. On the reverse, the coin displays a crowned Scottish thistle, a symbol of Scotland's enduring heritage and strength, designed by Christopher Ironside. The coin is struck in copper nickel, with a diameter of 23.59 millimeters and a weight of 5.65 grams. What makes the 1970 version unique is that it was never released into general circulation. Instead, it was carefully minted for collectors, which gives it a distinctive rarity compared to other 5-pence coins from surrounding years. Because the 1975 new pence coin was not produced for circulation, its mintage numbers were limited to sets, making it harder to find in loose change. This controlled production run has significantly increased its desirability among collectors today. Enthusiasts especially look for coins in fine condition or better, since these preserve more of the coin's original detail and shine. As time passes, coins from this year become even more appealing due to their historical importance and limited availability on the open market. So, what is this coin actually worth today in fine condition? A 1970 United Kingdom 5 new pence coin typically sells for around $17,250 in the collector's market. However, in higher grades such as extremely fine or uncirculated condition, the price can rise significantly, with some fetching between $25,100 at auctions or in private sales. If you happen to have a proof specimen from the official 1970 collector's set, the value can be even higher depending on the overall preservation and demand at the time of sale. This means a small 5-pence coin could turn into a surprisingly profitable find. For anyone interested in adding the 1975 new pence to their collection, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, always verify authenticity, as replicas or worn coins may not carry much value. Second, pay close attention to grading and condition. Coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and no discoloration command the best prices. Third, try to source coins from reputable dealers, auction houses, or established collectors, as this ensures fair pricing and authenticity. Finally, remember that proper storage is essential. Keeping your coin in a protective case will help maintain its fine condition and long-term value. The United Kingdom 5 new pence 1970 coin is more than just a small piece of currency. It's a historical marker of the nation's transition into decimalization, a design masterpiece, and a highly collectible rarity. With limited mintage, high collector demand, and a steadily rising market value, this coin is one to treasure. So, if you happen to come across one in fine condition or better, you could be holding a valuable piece of British numismatic history. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of British decimal coins, focusing on a piece that often goes unnoticed but carries significant value among collectors. The United Kingdom 5 new pence coin from 1980 in very fine condition. While at first glance it may seem like just another small denomination coin, when you look deeper into its history, rarity, and auction demand, you'll see why collectors are willing to pay good money for this coin in the current market. The 5 new pence coin was introduced in the United Kingdom in 1968 as part of the country's transition from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the decimal currency we use today. Originally, the coin was equivalent in value to 1 shilling, but the new decimal system simplified transactions and made currency more standardized. By 1980, the 5 new pence had become a familiar coin in circulation. It was still struck in copper-nickel composition, with a weight of 5.65 grams and a diameter of 23.59 millimeters. This was before the coin was reduced in size in 1990, which means the 1980 issue still belongs to the large-size 5-pence series. Coins from this era hold a special place in British numismatic history because they represent the early years of decimalization and a design that no longer exists in modern circulation. The obverse of the 1985 new pence features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This iconic image shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara and is one of the most beloved portraits of her reign. On the reverse, we see the crowned Scottish thistle, a national emblem of Scotland designed by Christopher Ironside. The crown above the thistle adds a regal touch, symbolizing the unity of the United Kingdom under the monarchy. The reverse also carries the denomination new pence and the numeral 5 at the center. The 1980 coin stands out because it was part of the last decade before the denomination dropped the word new and transitioned simply to 5 pence in 1982. This detail makes the 1980 issue a notable part of the series and a key collector's coin. Although millions of 5 new pence coins were minted in 1980, finding them in very fine or better condition today is far less common. The reason is simple. Most of these coins were heavily used in circulation during the 1980s, and very few survived without scratches, wear, or damage. For collectors, condition is everything. A coin in average circulated condition may not fetch much, but when you find a very fine condition example, its value rises sharply. Collectors also seek this coin as part of completing a full decimal collection, especially the large-size pre-1990 set. Demand is even stronger internationally, where British coins are prized for their royal imagery and historical significance. Now, let's talk about the money side of things. In today's auction market, a 1985 new Pence coin in average circulation condition may only be worth a small premium, around $20,000. However, when you move into higher grades like very fine condition, the value can rise significantly, often reaching between $23,500, depending on the buyer and auction platform. Coins graded even higher, such as extremely fine or uncirculated examples, can sometimes cross the $27,500 mark or more in specialist auctions. Rare error varieties or proof issues from sets may also attract even bigger bids. While this may not seem like thousands of dollars, the 1985 new Pence holds surprising potential for a small denomination coin. If you're looking to add the 1985 new Pence to your collection, here are a few tips. Always look for coins with clear details on the Queen's portrait and minimal wear on the thistle design. Rare minting errors like misstrikes or off-center strikes can boost the coin's value dramatically. Keep your coins in protective holders to prevent scratches and tarnishing. When shopping online or at auctions, verify the reputation of the dealer to avoid counterfeit or cleaned coins. While the value may not be astronomical today, coins like this tend to appreciate steadily as fewer examples remain in good condition. The United Kingdom 5 new Pence from 1980 may seem like a small piece of change, but it represents a fascinating chapter in the nation's monetary history. With its classic design, connection to early decimalization, and increasing rarity in very fine condition, this coin has become a sought-after treasure for collectors worldwide. Whether you're a beginner just starting your collection or an experienced numismatist looking for overlooked gems. Next up, we're diving into a coin that many people might overlook in their change box, yet it holds a fascinating story and, in some cases, surprising value in the collector's market. We are talking about the United Kingdom 5 new Pence coin from 1979, specifically when found in rare and unusual conditions, such as with rusting or discoloration. While rust is generally seen as damage, some collectors still place value on coins like these if they are historically significant, rare, or tied to a specific mintage year. So, let's break down its history, rarity, and what makes this coin stand out in the auction world. The 5 new Pence coin was first introduced in the UK in 1968 as part of the decimalization process that officially took effect in 1971. It was designed to replace the old 1 shilling coin and carried the same face value of 1/20th of a pound. The 1979 issue of the 5 new Pence remained part of the larger size series before it was downsized in 1990. At the time, these coins were struck in copper nickel, a combination of copper and nickel, making them durable but still prone to environmental damage, such as rusting or tarnishing when exposed to moisture. This historical context makes the 1979 edition particularly collectible today, especially as it represents the pre-small size era of the 5 Pence coin. The 1979 5 new Pence coin carries some key design elements that make it both classic and recognizable. On the obverse, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Arnold Machin, which was used on UK coinage between 1968 and 1984. The reverse features the crowned Scottish thistle, symbolizing Scotland's importance within the United Kingdom. The inscription around it reads New Pence, which remained until 1981 before it changed to just 5 pence. This makes the 1979 issue among the last to carry the original New Pence wording. While most coins from this mintage exist in circulated and worn condition, those that have unusual tones, surface marks, or even rusting can spark interest among niche collectors who value uniqueness. Now, when it comes to rarity, the 1979 5 new Pence is not the scarcest coin in the UK's decimal series. Millions were struck for circulation. However, Its collectability increases under a few conditions. If the coin has an error, such as missed strikes or off-center details, or if it has unusual patina or corrosion patterns that some collectors see as attractive. Rusty coins are normally less desirable, but in cases where the coin shows age and originality without being completely damaged, they can be seen as conversation pieces in a collection. The real rarity lies in uncirculated and proof versions of the coin, which were struck in smaller numbers and fetch a much higher value. Still, even circulated pieces from 1979 hold sentimental and historical value, keeping collector demand alive. So, what about the money? A standard 1979 5 pence coin in circulated condition may sell for anywhere between $15,300, depending on where. Coins in very fine or uncirculated condition can reach $25,100, while proof or mint condition examples can sometimes exceed $33,500 at auction. Rusty coins, on the other hand, usually sell at the lower end of this scale. But if the coin has an interesting appearance or comes with a collector's story, it might still reach a higher price point in niche auctions. Always remember, value depends not only on rarity, but also on buyer interest, market trends, and the condition of the coin. If you're a collector interested in the 1979 5 pence, here are a few tips. First, always store your coins properly, preferably in a dry, airtight container to avoid rusting or further corrosion. For those who already own a rusty example, never attempt aggressive cleaning, as this can reduce its value even more. Instead, preserve it as is, since originality is often appreciated by collectors. Secondly, keep an eye on auction sites and coin fairs, as you might find both circulated and uncirculated versions at reasonable prices. And lastly, pay close attention to variations, mint errors, or proof strikes, since those will always command higher demand and value. The United Kingdom 5 pence from 1979, the rarest coin in the decimal series, but it holds a unique place in British coinage history. Its larger size, new pence inscription, and connection to the pre-1990 era make it highly collectible. Even in rusty or unusual conditions, it can spark curiosity among collectors and sometimes fetch surprising prices at auction. Whether you own one already or are looking to add it to your collection, this coin is a reminder that even everyday change can carry hidden stories and unexpected value. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of British decimal coinage, with a special focus on the United Kingdom 5 pence coin from 1975. At first glance, it may seem like just another small coin, but when found in excellent condition, this piece can carry a surprising value in the collector's market. From its rich history to its unique features and the strong demand among numismatists, the 1975 5 pence is one coin worth learning about. The 5 pence coin was first introduced in 1968 as part of Britain's transition from the old pre-decimal system to the decimal currency we know today. The design was modeled after the older shilling, with the same size and weight, making the changeover easier for the public. By 1975, the coin was already well established in circulation, but the mintage of that year's issue was lower compared to some other years, making well-preserved examples especially desirable today. This coin also reflects a significant era in British history, as decimalization represented a modern shift in the nation's economy and everyday life. The 1975 5 pence is made of cupronickel, with a diameter of 23.59 millimeters and a weight of 5.65 grams. On the obverse, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The reverse of the coin displays a crowned Scottish thistle, the national emblem of Scotland, symbolizing unity within the United Kingdom. The detailed crown over the thistle makes this coin visually striking, and when found in excellent condition, the fine details of the crown and thistle really stand out, making it highly collectible. While the 1975 5 pence was produced in fair numbers, finding one in excellent, uncirculated condition is becoming increasingly rare. Most of these coins circulated heavily during the 1970s and 1980s, leaving many examples scratched, worn, or tarnished. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins that retain their original mint luster, sharp edges, and fully detailed strike. The rarity increases further when you consider proof versions or coins preserved in mint sets, which are much harder to come by today. Because of this, the 1975 issue has become a target for serious coin collectors across the globe. Now let's talk about value. A circulated 1975 5 new pence may only be worth its face value, but when you find one in excellent or uncirculated condition, its value can rise significantly. At auction, these coins have been known to sell anywhere between $27,500, depending on the quality and demand at the time of sale. Proof strikes or coins graded by professional services can push the value even higher, sometimes exceeding $30,100 if the condition is pristine. This makes the 1975 issue one of the more valuable coins from the early decimal series when preserved well. If you're looking to add a 1975 5 new pence to your collection, here are a few tips. First, always check the condition. Look for sharp details on the thistle and crown, along with minimal scratches on the Queen's portrait. Second, consider grading services if you believe your coin is in top condition, as certification can boost its value at auction. Third, always buy from trusted dealers or reputable auction houses to avoid counterfeit or heavily cleaned examples. Lastly, store your coins in protective holders or albums to maintain their excellent condition, since even small scratches can lower their market value. The United Kingdom 5 new pence 1975 may seem like a simple coin, but in excellent condition, it becomes a rare and highly desirable piece with significant value in today's collector's market. With its historical background, striking design, and growing demand, this coin proves that even small denominations can hold big treasures for coin enthusiasts. So, whether you already have one in your collection or you're on the hunt for this gem, keep an eye out. You never know when you might come across a piece worth far more than its face value. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with other coin collectors. Until next time, keep hunting for those hidden treasures in your change.